Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to solve Cambridge O-Level Chemistry Paper 1 multiple choice question. For the session of October-November 2024, we have the subject code 5070 and the variant of this paper is 12. We have 40 marks for this paper and this paper is carrying 1 odd. We're going to start our question paper from question number 1. Question number 1 is that helium gas and argon gas are mixed in a closed container at room temperature and pressure. What happens when two gases are in the container? Argon and helium, option number A is that argon and helium atom become evenly mixed throughout the container even though they have the different masses. Yes, this is the two option because due to diffusion, particles mix together evenly even though they are different in masses. So option number A is the right one. Moving to question number 2. Substance X has a simple molecular structure and substance Y has a giant covalent structure. Which row is correct? X could be an element, X can be an element or can be a compound. So option number C and D are the can be, because X could be an element or even the compound. And Y has a giant covalent structure. Y can be also an element and Y can also be a compound, like we can say that graphite is an element of carbon and compound or organic compound that have the giant structure can become into this category. So option number D and B is the right one for Y, and both D have both the ticks, so option number D is the correct one. Moving to question number 3. Question number 3 is that the diagram shows of an atom on an element Z. Which symbol for element Z is correct? Z is 15, 28, Z is 26, 13, Z is 28, 13, Z is okay. First we know that there are 15 number of neutrons. So it means the difference should be of 15. So it is 28 minus 15 is 13. 26 minus 13 is 13. 28 minus 13 is 15. So option number C is the only option that is correct one. Or you can check it like that. First shell is carrying 2 electrons. Next shell is carrying 8. And next shell is carrying 3 electrons. So their sum is 13. Either you can subtract it or you can count number of electrons in their shells. So in both ways the answer would come as the same. Okay, moving to question number 4. A sample of element Q contains 2 isotopes. This is a typical question of isotope. The diagram shows the relative abundance and relative masses of the 2 isotopes. What is the relative atomic mass AR of the sample of Q? Like option, how we gonna calculate? We know that this is the question of relative abundance. It means we have to multiply its mass, like 20 its mass, but we have to multiply it by 20 is the presence by 1 and the total number are 1 and 5. So you can write 1 over here and 1 plus 5 is 6. So you're gonna multiply 20 by 1 by 6, and what is the share of 22 in it? So we're gonna add 22, then multiply it by 5 by 6. After solving it, you get the answer that is equal to 21.67, and that is close to 21.7. So option number D is the right one. Moving to question number 5. This is the way in which we calculate the relative abundance. Moving to question number 5. This statement about electrical conductivity is correct. Okay, covalent compounds such as glucose conduct when molten or dissolved. No, covalent compound does not conduct, so option number A is the wrong one. Option number B, dilute acids such as sulfuric acid conduct because all the ions are free to move. Yes, this is the right reason. So option number B is the correct one. Okay. Option number C, ionic compounds such as sodium chloride conduct due to movement of electrons. No, they only conduct when they are in the form of molten. Metals such as copper conduct due to the movement of positive ions. No, they conduct due to the presence of free electron. Moving to question number 6. Which substance is not malleable and conduct electricity by the movement of electron through a lattice of atom? We know that this is the only non-metal that conduct electricity, that is graphite. Option number C is the right one. This is a simple question and a repeated question, I must say. Moving to question number 7. What is the relative molecular mass MR of ethene? Okay, we know that the formula for the ethene is C2H4. And we don't have to calculate in the typical way. The options are given in the different the average mass of isotope C and hydrogen compared to the 1/12 mass of the carbon. The atomic masses of the isotope of C and H compared to 1/12. No, the twice of AR or C plus the 4 times of AR of H. Yes, this is the right one, because carbon is present 2 times and hydrogen is present 4 elements are present. So option number C is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 4. What is the relative molecular mass or MR of N2O? This is a very simplest question and simple calculation. Nitrogen have an atomic mass of 14 multiplied by 2, then adding by 16, that is 28. 28 plus 16, it would be 44. So option number C is the right and easiest choice over here. Correct choice. Okay, moving to question number 9. Which contains the greatest mass of oxygen? 0.2 mole of aluminum nitrate. Okay, in this question we have to calculate it. How we're gonna calculate? You can check. I will calculate all the options and will check which option is carrying the greatest mass of oxygen. So how many atoms are present in aluminum nitrate of oxygen? We can see that there are 3, and 3 multiplied by 3, the total oxygen atoms are 9. Then multiply 9 by the atomic mass of oxygen, that is 16, and the moles are present over here are 0.2. After calculating, you would get the answer that is equal to 28.8. Now for option number B. How many oxygen atoms? 4. 4 multiplied by 16, then multiplied by 0.3, because 0.3 moles are present. The answer is 19.2. Again, this is carrying 3 oxygen atoms and 16 is the atomic mass, 0.4 are the moles. You're gonna get the answer that is equal to 19.2. Option B and C are carrying the same oxygen mass. Moving to option number D, the last. 3 into 16 into 0.5, you would get the answer that is equal to 24. So from the given option and from the calculation, we can easily see that option A is the carrying the greatest mass of oxygen. Moving to question number 10. Question number 10 is that compound Z contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen only. Compound Z contains 48.65% carbon and 8.11% hydrogen by mass. What is the empirical formula of Z? This is a very good question of practicing empirical formula or stoichiometry. So how are we gonna apply that? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. The percentage of carbon is 48.65, that is given in the question, and 8.11 is the percentage of hydrogen. And how we're going to calculate the percentage of oxygen? By adding 48.65 and 8.11, then subtract it from 100, we get the percentage of oxygen. 100 minus 48.65 plus 8.11, we get the answer that is equal to 43.24. so this is 43.24. Okay, now you need to get the number of moles. You can get the number of moles by dividing its percentages to a smaller mass or atomic mass. You can say hydrogen has 1, and this would be 16. Okay, after 48.65 divided by 12, you get the moles, that is equal to 4 and 8.1, and this would be 2.7. Now you can now you need to divide it by the least number of moles, and the least number of moles are 2.7. so you have to divide 2.7 from all those moles. Okay, you get the answer, that is equal to almost 1.5, 3 and 1. Now you need to multiply it by a constant to get the whole number. If you multiply this by 2, you would get 3, then you would get 6 and 2. It means that carbon has 3, hydrogen has 6 and oxygen has 2 elements in. So C3, A6 and O2 would be our answer. So option number B is carrying that option. So this is how we have completed this question. The space was less, I felt. Okay, moving to question number 11. Question number 11 is that which fertilizer contains the highest percentage of by mass of nitrogen? Okay, we have been provided with their molar mass. This is a good thing, we only need to calculate. Okay. Over here we know that there are 2 nitrogen elements are present. So 22 atoms, 288 and divide by 80. You get the percentage, that is equal to 35%. Why we are taking only nitrogen? Because in the question we are asked to calculate the greatest percentage by mass of nitrogen. And for this case we have 3 nitrogen elements present because NH4 whole thrice. So 14 multiplied by 3, you would get 42, and the molar mass of this element is ammonium phosphate is 149. So you would get the answer, that is equal to 28%. Okay. For option number C, we know that there are 2 nitrogen atoms, so it would be 2 into 14, or you can write at 20 as 28 divided by 132. You would get the answer, that is equal to 21%. Now moving to option number D, that would be again nitrogen are 2, then 28 divided by 60, you would get the answer, that is equal to 47%. So option number D is carrying the greatest percentage of nitrogen by mass. So we're gonna select the option number D as our final choice. Okay. Moving to question number 12, an electrolytic cell is shown. There are 2 electrodes that are cathode and anode. One is platinum anode and other is platinum cathode. We have dilute sulfuric acid present in it. Which statement is correct? Okay. Okay, electrons move from cathode to the anode in the external circuit. No, this is the wrong option. Hydrogen ions gains electron at the anode. No, they lose electron. They tend to lose electron. So option number B is the wrong one. In the electrolyte, positive ions move to the cathode and negative ions move to the anode. Yeah, this is the right choice over here. So option number C is the right answer. The hydroxide ion in the electrode move to cathode. This is just wrong option. Option number C is carrying the right choice. Moving to question number 13. An aqueous mixture of copper nitrate and silver nitrate is electrolyzed with pure copper electrode. Which ionic half equation describe the change occurring at the anode? We know that copper would be present at anode, so copper would actually oxidize, and option number A is carrying that half equation. So this is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 14. Question number 14 is that what is disadvantage of using hydrogen oxygen fuel cell to a power car? Gasoline, petrol is a non-renewable resource. Yes, this is not the disadvantage of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, so this is not the right choice over here. The hydrogen tank may split in an accident leading to an explosion. This is a right choice because this can be very explosive. So moving to question number 15. 14 has the B right option. Moving to question number 15. when chemical reaction X take place, okay, thermal energy is given out. So over here energy is released, so it is an exothermic reaction. So option number A and B are carrying endo, so you don't need to read their explanation to save your time. Option number C and D are carrying exothermic, so we have to decide by their explanation. For C, the explanation is that more energy is required to break the bond than the energy. No, this is for endothermic, but this is exothermic, so less energy is required to break the bond than the energy released when the bonds are formed. So that's why option number D is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 16. This statement about a physical change is correct. A physical change is impossible to reverse. This is the wrong. It is easily can be reversed. In a physical change, the appearance of a substance may change. Yes, the appearance of substance may change. So this is the right option for a physical change. New substances are not formed in the physical change; they are formed in chemical change, and there is no energy ready. Energy is taken during a physical. So this is the wrong option. Option number B is the only correct option. Moving to question number 17. Okay, gas P decomposes to form gas Q. Okay, two experiments are done to investigate the rate of reaction. The conditions are the same except that two different temperatures T1 and T2 are used. The results are plotted on the graphs drawn to the same scale. Okay, we can from the graph we can see that volume P and volume Q is given, and for the time is taken at the x-axis and volume is taken on the y-axis. Which row is correct? We have to identify it. At T1 is higher temperature than T2. We can see that because T1 is higher, because the equilibrium is established at early point, so it means the temperature was for T1 is higher compared to it. When the time passes more, the equilibrium is reached late. So T1 is higher than T2. So option number A and C are the closest option. Now we have to figure out the number of X and number of Y. Okay, X is for P, and that would give you Y for Q. And volume of P would be less. At initially the volume of reactant was P, and initially the volume was decrease, and the rate of reaction quickly of volume Q was changed. So it means the value of Q is more. From the graph we can say the volume of P is smaller. This portion of P is smaller and this portion of Q is bigger. So this option would represent 2 or 3 because no other values are given. So that's why we select 2 over here and 3 over here. So option number A is carrying such options. So option number A is the right choice for the question number 17. Volume of Q is 1.5 times the volume of P that decompose, or you can simply explain the way I shown. Okay, moving to question number 18. Sample of nitrogen are reacted and allowed to reach equilibrium. This is a Haber process. The equation is shown. The temperature is increased and a new equilibrium is established. Okay, the temperature is increased and new equilibrium is established. So we're going to apply Le-Chatelier principle. Le-Chatelier principle is like that whatever the change is produced, the reaction will react in a way to oppose that change. So when we increase the temperature at equilibrium, so the amount of product would reduce because it should increase, but it according to Le-Chatelier principle, it would oppose that change. So how it gonna oppose? By reducing the amount of product, decreasing the amount of product. So option number B is carrying that option. This is a typical explanation of Le-Chatelier principle and typical application of Le-Chatelier principle. You need to revise that. Moving to question number 19. In the diagram, R represent one of the reactions in the contact process, gas Z and oxygen, and our product with statement is correct. Okay, gas Z is SO2. We know that when SO2 reacts with oxygen, the SO3 is produced. SO2 plus O2 would produce SO3. You can balance it by writing 2 over here. Okay, you don't need to balance in the exam, so option number A is the right choice. Moving to question number 20. Peroxidized sulfide ion S2O minus 8 reacts with iron 2 ions Fe plus 2. S2O8 minus 2 plus 2 Fe plus 2 ions would give you 2SO4 minus 2 plus Fe positive 3 ion. Okay. The only element that are either oxidized or reduced in the reaction are sulfur ions. Okay. Sulfur and iron. Okay. We know that sulfur and iron. Okay. Iron is oxidized. So the element that is reduced would be sulfur. So option number C and D are the closest option. Now behavior of S2 would decide it would act as an oxidizing agent or reducing agent. Because the sulfur is reduced, so this would act as an oxidizing agent. So option number C is the right choice for question number 20. Moving to question number 21. Which solid reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce a gas? Okay, we know that salts can be produced by either reacting with metal or reacting with alkali or reacting with carbonates. So over here we can know that when it reacts with sodium carbonate, it will produce gas. Which gas will be produced? Carbon dioxide, because sodium chloride and carbon dioxide and water is produced. So option number D is the right choice for this question, because they dilute HCl, so that's why we do not give for option number B. Okay, moving to question number 22. Question number 22 is that which 1 mole per dm cube of aqueous solution has the highest value of pH? Highest value of pH means it should be 14, and hydrochloric acid would have 1. Sodium chloride is salt. Sodium hydroxide would have the highest pH value, that would be 14 or closest to 14. So option number C is the right choice. Moving to question number 23. Question number 23 is that oxides Q reacts with separate sample of dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous potassium hydroxide. Both reactions produce a salt and water. This statement is correct. Okay, it means that it reacts with acid as well, it reacts with potassium. So amphoteric oxides are those oxides that behave as an alkali when they react with acid, and they behave as an acid when they react with alkali. So Q would be an amphoteric oxide. So option number B is carrying that option. Moving to question number 24. Question number 24 is that the table show 4 methods used to prepare pure salts. Okay, this is a very good question. Which row shows a method of making pure sample of each named salt? Okay, acid and carbonate, I have told in earlier, acid and carbonate will produce salt. Okay, acid and melter would also produce salt. Precipitation method are also used to producing salt. Titration is also used to produce salt. So option number A is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 25. 25 is that which property determines the order of elements in the periodic table? The masses of their atom, no. The number of electrons in their outer shell, no. It determines their chemical property. The number of neutrons, no. the number of protons in the nucleus, yes, that's why they are arranged according to ascending order of their atomic number or number of protons. So option number D is the right choice for question number 25. Moving to question number 26, which statement explain why helium and neon are unreactive? They both are noble gases, so we have to check from their these of them are both gases. I don't know. They both have 8 electrons in their outer shell. No, helium does not have 8 electrons. Helium follows the duplet rule. They both have equal number of protons and electrons. Then no, they both have all their occupied electron shell completely filled. Yes, this is the right explanation for them being in unreactive of noble gases, because their outer shells are completed. Now moving to question number 27. Substance X conduct electricity in the solid state. Substance X is a malleable. Okay, this statement is correct. Okay, X conduct electricity by the movement of electron between layers of negative and non. X conduct electricity by movement of positive ion through a giant lattice. No, substance X conducts electricity in solid substance. Substance X is a malleable, so it should be a metal. X is a giant lattice, so positive ions in a C, yes, they show the metallic bonding, so that's why option number C is the right choice. Moving to question number 28. Aluminium and copper are the good conductor of electricity. Why is aluminium used in overhead electric cable instead of copper? We know that aluminium is lighter in the weight, so that's why they are used. So option number A, aluminium is above copper in the reactor. No, this is not the reason. Aluminium is less dense than copper. Yes, this is the reason, because they have the lighter mass. Of question number 29 is that the oxide of Z is reduced by heating with carbon. What is Z? We know that carbon is a strong reducing agent. So what would be the reaction? It should be the reaction. Option D is the right choice. The oxide of Z means oxide of zinc. How this is the reaction? Zinc oxide plus carbon would produce zinc plus carbon monoxide. So this is how zinc is reduced to its metal by removing the oxygen atom. Now moving to question number 30. A metal ore contains an oxide MO. A metal M forms colored compound. So it means there should be a transition. When a piece of iron is placed into a solution containing M plus 2 ions, M is displaced. Which row is correct? Okay. It's a transition, so its density should be high. So option number A, B, and C are carrying that explanation. Now, possible method of extraction of M would be electrolysis. No, electrolysis or heating with carbon. We just did that. When metal is heated with carbon, the oxygen is removed like that in the above MCQ. So option number B is carrying both the right options. Now moving to question number 31. Iron can be extracted from the ore hematite. What is the formula for the hematite? That is equal to Fe2O3. Okay, what is the maximum mass of iron that is produced from 500 kg of hematite? Iron, the atomic masses are given. So first we need to calculate the total molecular mass. Now you can see 2 into 56 plus 3 into 16. You get the answer that is equal to 160. Now we need to calculate the mass of iron, and we know that 2 elements of iron are present, 2 atoms of iron are present, and divide by total, and whole amount is 500. So this is how we get the answer. After calculating, you would get the answer that is equal to 350 kg. So option number C is carrying that option. Moving to question number 32. Which row describe an advantage and disadvantage of fertilizer? Okay. Okay, fertilizer are basically very dangerous to aquatic life. You should know that they add the nutrients value too much for oceans, because oceans is carrying already rich minerals. So that's why option number A and C are the carry. And the advantage, and the advantage is that they improve the plant growth. Yes, because they're of high nutrient value. So option number C and D, and the both C are the correct choice over here. So now move to question number 33. Which row about the adverse effects of the air pollutant is correct? Okay, option number A, methane increase the global warming. Yes, this is the right choice. C is also carrying that. Oxides of nitrogen cause respiratory problem. Yes, so this is the right choice. Particulates create cancer, causes cancer. So this is very dangerous, like toxic substances from industries, chimneys, taxis, cars, vehicles. So these particles are generated. So we need to eliminate those substances to reduce the chances of cancer. Okay, moving to question number 34. How many different unbranched esters have the formula C4H8O2? We know that C4 means it should be 4 carbon. So there would be 3 unbranched, and it would be methyl propanate. I'm going to write it methyl propanate, and second would be ethyl ethonate, and the last would be propyl formate. So these are how methyl propanate is prepared. It is prepared by propanoic acid and with methanol. Ethyl ethonate is prepared by ethanoic acid or acetic acid with ethanol, and propyl formate is formed by formic acid and propanol. So there are 3 unbranched esters. Option number C is carrying that. Okay, now moving to question number 35. Petroleum is separated in a fraction column. The statements are correct. The compounds at the top of the column are more volatile and have low body. Yes, more volatile compound, that's why they would evaporate first. The compounds at the bottom of the column are most, yes, they are thicker, they have more density. This is the right. The chain length of the molecules at the bottom of the columns are shorter. No, the chain length would be greater for the bottom because they are carrying more elements in it. So option and they are more viscous. So option number B is the right choice. For 1 and 2 options are the correct choices. Moving to question number 36. 36 is that this statement about hydrocarbon is correct. Alkenes are unsaturated, which means they are less soluble in water than alkene. Alkenes contain a higher percentage by mass of carbon than alkene. Yes, like alkane have a formula of first alkane, second alkane is C2H6. On the other hand, alkene is C2H4. It shows that they have higher percentage of carbon. So option number B is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 37. 2 statements are shown. When ethanol is made from glucose by fermentation, each glucose molecule produces 2 molecules of ethanol. When ethanoic, yes, this is the right choice. I'm going to show with the reaction. Like C6H12O6 is the formula of glucose. When it is decomposed, it produces 2 moles of ethanol, that is 2C2H5OH, and carbon dioxide is produced. So this is carrying the right option. Moving to option number 2, that is, then ethanoic acid is made from ethanol. The ethanol acts as a reducing agent. Yes, this is the right choice. So option number statement 1 and statement 2 are true. So option number A is the right choice. Moving to question number 38. Okay, 38 is the question of moles and carrying deep calculation of stoichiometry. I'm going to solve it. Okay, in a titration, a 25 centimeter cube sample of 0.1 100 mole per dm cube solution sodium hydroxide is exactly neutralized by 16.2 centimeter cube of dilute sulfuric acid. The equation for this reaction is shown. Okay, I'm going to solve it in a way so you, that would help you in doing this type of question in your exam. So first you need to change 25 centimeter cube into dm cube by dividing it by 1000. So you would get the answer 0.025 dm cube. So this would be your first step. We know that now we have that 0.025 dm cube of NaOH. Now the concentration is given, that is 0.100 mole per dm cube. So this was the data, and 16.2 centimeter cube. Again you need to divide it by 1000 to get your answer in terms of decimeter cube. That would be 0.0162 decimeter cube. So you're going to write that 0.0162 dm cube. So this is the volume. Now we can calculate the moles of NaOH by multiplying those two values, because volume into concentration would give us moles. You can write that formula, 0.100 multiplied by 0.025, you would get the answer that is equal to 0.0025 moles. Okay, now this is 0.0025 moles. Now from the balance equation we know that there are 1 moles of H2SO4 and this sodium hydroxide has 2 moles. It means half it should be there. So you have, if there are 0.0025, you need to divide it by 2. After dividing it by 2, you would get the answer 0.00125. So this is the mole. Now these moles, these are the moles of sulfuric acid, and this is the volume of sulfuric acid. So you have to divide them to get the answer in terms of mole per dm cube to get the concentration. So after dividing it, you would get the answer that is equal to 0.0772 mole per dm cube. So option number B is carrying that choice. So option number B is the right answer. How I done it, I will repeat it. First I changed the values in dm cube, then I put the data which is given below to the equations. Now we from volume and concentration I find the moles. Now compare the moles from the balance equation. After comparing, divided by 2, because this 1 mole would carry 2, it means half should be there, so we divided by 2. After calculating mole, divide the value by the volume that was given in the question. Dividing those values would give us the answer in terms of concentration. So this is the question, a very good question and very good practice for the questions of concentration. Moving to question number 39. 3 liquids X, Y and Z are tested and the results are shown. Anhydrous chloride, blue to pink, measuring boiling point 100, why no change, blue to pink, and 78 and 103, which may be deduced from the statement about X, Y, Z and this information. X is impure. No, X cannot be impure because it has the exact boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. So option number C and D is carrying the pure water. Now Y is impure or not water? Y is not water because its boiling point would increase if its impurity is added, so they should be not water. And Z is impure water because its boiling point is increased from 100 degrees Celsius. When impurities are added, the boiling point increase and melting point decrease. You should memorize this point. So option number D is carrying that choice. Moving to the last question of our paper, that is question number 40. Question number 40 is that compound Q is soluble in water. A solution of Q gives a white precipitate when dilute sulfuric acid is added. When Q is warmed with aqueous sodium hydroxide and aluminum foil, a gas is produced which turns red litmus into blue. Okay. With what is Q? Okay. Ammonium chloride, ammonium nitrate, and barium chloride and barium nitrate. We know that all nitrates are soluble, and at the start of the question the information was compound Q is soluble, so it should be barium nitrate is the right choice over here. So option number D is the right choice. Hopefully you get the understanding of this paper. If you still have queries related to this paper, you can ask in the comment section. I will elaborate more in detail, and do recommend my channel to your friends and community to support our work. And thank you so much for supporting so far, and thank you so much for watching this video as well. Keep supporting and keep practicing for your better result. Okay, Allah Hafiz.